Hi, my name is Willie Spurr, and I'm a professional indoor soccer player for the Tacoma Stars. I got injured playing for my previous team in California. It was during a game. There was a deflected ball off the back wall behind the goal, and I ended up in a contested challenge with the goalkeeper. And when I was trying to shoot the ball, the sole of his foot made contact with the lower part of my knee, and my leg hyperextended. I had a PCL tear, I had a meniscus root tear, and a tibial plateau fracture.
Willie's first injury occurred during an in-game soccer match. He required surgery to not only reconstruct ligaments, but also address a fracture in his lower leg. His rehab initially was not going as planned and required a secondary surgery.
After a little while, I saw the actual video of myself getting hurt, and it looked really bad. But as I kind of went through the recovery process, I think in the early stages I thought, I was just going to go through whatever the 9-month or so time frame was going to be. And as time went by and I was kind of failing to make much progress, that didn't necessarily seem to be something I could count on anymore, and I kind of went through a phase where I wasn't really sure if I was going to be able to play again. It was difficult also because besides just not being able to play, I ended up having to use crutches for a really long period. I couldn't drive for 3 or 4 months. I couldn't really do much walking. I couldn't spend that much time outside without it being really difficult. So I chose Renew because after a few months working with different physical therapists at a different place, I needed another surgery, and I really just hadn't made very much progress at all.
After that procedure was the time that Willie was able to come to Renew Physical Therapy to try a different approach with our therapist here at Renew.
My mom had heard from, I think, her friends and other people that they'd been to Renew and had good experiences, so I thought it was a good idea to try something different after my second surgery, see if I could get better results. When I first came here, Matt he looked at different things that were happening. It was the first time where I really felt like I was getting an explanation as to why things weren't necessarily doing what we wanted them to do, and that we were going to target certain things to improve those areas, and it was going to improve things overall. And I just remember when I first left, I had just a much more of a sense of optimism as far as where I was going to be headed from here than I did previously. The main breakout moment that I can remember was, it was the first time where I actually ran. Yeah, I just remember talking to Matt about how he kind of felt just based on the tests we've been doing, that I probably safely reached that point. Yeah, I just remember, him telling me that I could do it, and just driving to the park after my appointment and just going for a jog, and it was I feel like it kind of just hit me all at once, how much I've been going through as far as, being on the crutches for close to 6 months or so, and just having no muscle in the leg and having no flexibility, to finally being at that point.
The other big milestone was when he was re-signed with the Tacoma Stars and being able to return to sport. Not only was he back to his prior level, but he was performing at a degree that was on par with his professional soccer playing. Athletes are prone to these traumatic injuries, much like Willie's. The best way to reduce a risk of an injury is preventative management, and a lot of that stems from the aspects of physical therapy that we utilize.
Well, I think the main thing that I really noticed working with Matt was just that I always had a feeling that things that were not where we wanted them to be could improve. He was always very positive about how, okay, this area is tight, this area is weak, but we can work on that. And whereas before I felt leave PT feeling very frustrated, very worried and stressed out. I always felt positive after working with Matt about how, we were moving in the right direction.
I tailored Willie's plan of care based on his high level of sport and exercise that he is required to perform while playing professional soccer. A lot of times when we have patients that are this high a level, it can be difficult to come up with challenging exercises, and in turn, this was a challenge for Willie because he was a very strong and athletic person, however, still required the rehab and the education on what is the optimal type of exercise and progressions in order for him to successfully return to sport safely.